The 14th National People's Congress opened its third session at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing this morning. Delivering a government work report at the meeting, Premier Li Qiang announced that the economic growth target would be maintained at around 5% for 2025. Evelyn Bai has more details.
President Xi Jinping and key political leaders entered the Great Hall of the People with a round of applause. The national anthem was played and sung ahead of the annual meeting. Nearly 3,000 delegates from different provinces, ministries, and groups attended the week-long session. Premier Li Qiang delivered his second government work report during his tenure.
经济增长预期目标为5%左右。
Targeting economic growth of around 5% this year, consistent with last year's target. Besides, inflation target is set at around 2%, which is lower than last year's target of 3%, alongside an urban jobless rate of about 5.5%. To achieve such targets, the Premier deployed stronger verbatims than those of last year regarding retail sales, external trade, and fixed asset investment. The three economic growth drivers, mainly from stabilizing to boosting. Addressing a more proactive fiscal policy, Li said, the government has set its deficit to GDP ratio for this year at around 4%, up from 3% last year. He also said the government plans to issue 1.3 trillion yuan in ultra-long special treasury bonds, an increase of 300 billion yuan year-on-year to support consumer goods trade-ins. Local governments will be allowed to issue 4.4 trillion yuan in special debt, reflecting a rise of 500 billion yuan over last year. Meanwhile, to boost capital at its biggest banks, Beijing is set to issue 500 billion yuan in special sovereign bonds. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.